Usually when you visit my channel, it's to learn about laws that you will be voting on, called propositions. But as you know, the state passes new laws every year that don't require a public vote, and these laws frequently ride under the radar. I'm going to tell you about 3 of these today. Number 1, Assembly Bill 1668 and Senate Bill 606. California will be the first state in the country to place a cap on how much water its residents can use. This law is intended to support the state's environmental goals and prevent drought. This law stipulates that Californians will have a cap of 55 gallons per day per person for indoor water use until 2025. In 2025, it drops to 52.5 gallons, and in 2030, it drops to 50 gallons. The government hopes that this law will incentivize more careful water use and the implementation of water recycling programs. Senator Hertzberg of Los Angeles' San Fernando Valley says, "This is another important step in the legislature's focused effort to re-engineer water policy away from crisis management and toward a 21st century approach. I want to thank the governor and his staff for their creative vision and my colleagues in both houses for their hard work to bring this across the finish line." I'm not going to report the pro and con arguments because this is done, but I thought you should know what's coming down the pipe and how much less of it will be coming down the pipe in the near future. As far as my opinion, I'm struggling. When I first heard this, I was outraged. I don't know how many gallons of water we use daily, but it seems like showering alone would be quite a bit. I don't want to have this third world vibe to my daily existence where I'm constantly stressed out about how much water is left in my quota. But on the flip side, we talk about these water bonds every other election year, and I have to accept that we do live in a desert and water is limited. I don't know what to tell you about this, but I just thought you should know. Number 2, AB 2365. Before we get into it, I'm going to tell you a quick story. Saban Graham hoped to buy a new home in the San Diego area. She hired realtor Peggy Walkush to sell her current home, and they were off to the races. Until things took an unforeseen turn. Graham felt that everything she wanted to do sparked a debate with Walkush, and her home ultimately fell out of escrow. Eventually, Graham had had enough and wanted to part ways, but Walkush would not allow it and forced Graham to continue with their contract. So Graham wrote a negative review on Yelp of Walkush. Little did she know that this review would destroy her life. The two tumbled into a legal disaster, with Walkush demanding that Graham pay her $8,725 and promised to remove the Yelp review and sign a non-disparagement clause that would forbid her from talking about this whole incident. Graham refused. At the end of it all, Graham's plans of moving into her dream home were crushed, having spent her down payment money defending herself from realtor Peggy Walkush, all over a Yelp review. Across the country in New York, a woman left her gynecologist a 1-star review, and he sued her for $1 million. A woman in Virginia wrote a negative review about a contractor she hired. The contractor sued her for $750,000. Enter AB 2365. This is no longer legal in California. This law makes it illegal for companies to make customers sign contracts waiving their First Amendment right to write online reviews, and makes it illegal for companies to retaliate against customers who leave negative reviews. I, for one, am pleased with this new law, and am glad that the California legislature has taken a moment to stop destroying California's economic future so that they can support the citizens. I've saved my most controversial matter for last. Just another warning for you, this next section will contain a politically incorrect opinion. It involves gender. Please take a moment of self-reflection and determine whether or not you can handle what follows. There's no reason to put yourself at risk unnecessarily. Please click away now if this kitchen is too hot. Senate Bill 826. As you probably know, most companies have boards that contain individuals who oversee the company and vote on decisions for the company, etc. This bill requires that all companies must have at least 2 women on boards of 5 members and at least 3 women on boards of 6 or more. Quick facts: the writers of this law claim that 1/4 of the publicly traded companies headquartered in California don't have any women on their boards. Almost 1,000 women will be needed to fill the boards of California companies because of this law. This is sheer lunacy. So now companies have to go around denying perfectly eligible people in order to sift through a series of options so that they can find the one that has a vagina attached to it. And that's what they need to do to follow the law. Many men already on boards will have to be eliminated so that a woman can take their place. Really? This is the solution? Why is this even an ideal? You are seriously messing with companies now when Big Brother starts telling them who they can have on their boards. Where does this end? And I know that people are going to disagree, these Sheryl Sandberg types that believe that women should be force injected into every scenario possible, but I just do not believe in this kind of social engineering. I'm sure there are many people who might like to intentionally create an all-woman board, and you know what I'd say about that? Have at it. Do what you want. It's a free country. Let women do what they want to do, and let people do what they want to do with their businesses. Everyone just stop trying to force your preferences on other people's lives. Tell me in the comments what you think about these 3 laws.